Check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Check, check, check. Check 1 2 3 4. Swarthmore College Athletics. Check 1 2 3.
Check, check, check. And a pleasant good afternoon, and welcome to baseball this afternoon. It is Swarthmore against Montclair State on the Sports Fan Base Network. I'm Steve Rudenstein. Thanks for joining us on a great day for baseball. Swarthmore comes into play today with a record of 5-10, and Montclair State, they come in today's game with a record of 11-4. On the hill for Swarthmore is Edward Berry, a right-hander. And Berry's record on the season is 0-2 with a 3.60 ERA. This is his fourth game and fourth start. And the defense behind Berry, Austin Burgess is in left field, Kirk, Tarada, Herzer in center, Paul Cook in right field, Luke Mutz at third base, Max Rothberg at shortstop, Nate Jabara at second base, Emmett Reynolds at first, and Sam Jacobson is behind the plate this afternoon. Your umpires for today's game, Arthur Chapman is behind the plate, and Mark Holland is the umpire in the field. Montclair State in the first inning will have Joe Norden, Peter Cosentino, and Jordan Yurkevich, the designated hitter, to bat against the right-hander Berry. These two teams faced each other in the opener this year for both squads. That game was in Aberdeen, Maryland. And Swarthmore won that game by a score of 14-5. That was actually the first game between these two teams since May of 1985. They were scheduled to play a second game down in Aberdeen, and that game ended up being postponed to today. Swarthmore yesterday, they played against Immaculata. They lost that game 10-6, had a 4-0 lead before giving up 6 runs in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Norden comes up for Montclair State to lead things off. Batting .400 on the season, no home runs and 12 RBIs for Norden. Dimensions here at Clothier Field, it is 319 down the left and right field lines, 339 to left center, 377 to right center, a giant wall between left and just past center field. And the first pitch of our ball game is slashed foul down the right side and out of play for strike one. Swarthmore pitchers have had a tough go of it to start the year. A combined team ERA a little over 7, with Berry being one of the better performers on the mound so far this year. The 0-1. Grounded out to third base. It is scooped up by Mutz, and he throws across the diamond in time for out number 1. One away, and that'll bring up Peter Cosentino for the Redhawks. Batting .397 on the year, 5 home runs and 26 RBIs. Cosentino, a preseason All-American, led Montclair State in several statistical categories a year ago. He grounds the first pitch, and that's played on a hop by Mutz, who throws across the diamond, and quickly there are 2 down here in the top of the first. Just 3 pitches to retire the first 2 hitters for Berry. Yurkevich, the third hitter, the top hitter on Montclair State, batting .468 on the year, 6 home runs and 23 RBIs. Berry comes set and fires a breaking ball that is a little bit inside for ball 1. Defense plays Yurkevich to pull the ball on the left side. And the 1-0 is foul tipped into the glove of Jacobson. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Yurkevich late on that fastball off frame, and the count now a ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And a solid start for Berry as he retires the side 1-2-3. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Swarthmore to bat in the bottom of the first. Next here on the Sports Fan Base Network. Back here on the Garnet Sports Network, Steve Rudenstein bringing you the action today from Clothier Field Stadium. And the left-hander on the mound for the Red Hawks is Patrick Cucurello. And his record on the year, 2-2 with a 3.26 ERA. This will be his 6th appearance and 5th start. He has allowed 7 earned runs in 19 1/3 innings, struck out 18 and walked 9. The defense behind Cucurello, Andrew Olworther is in left. Michael Murphy is in center. Ryan McKenna in right field. Joe Norton at third base. Jason Moore at shortstop. Miles Feasters at second. Peter Costantino over at first base. And Anthony Gorino is behind the plate for the Red Hawks. Swarthmore's 3 hitters to start the ball game. Kirk Tarada Herzer will bat first. Luke Mutz will bat second. Austin Burgess will bat third here in the bottom of the first inning. Swarthmore mentioned 5-10 overall. This is the 3rd game at home so far this year. They've played a lot of games on the road and on neutral fields. They were down earlier during March at the Snowbird Spring Break Classic down in Port Charlotte, went 3-5 in those games. And Swarthmore, again, coming off that loss to Immaculata. They won their first couple games of the year, including that victory over Montclair, and trying to get back in winning form before they start play in the Centennial Conference. Tarada Herzer to lead things off. His average on the year, 217. He's got a home run and 9 RBIs on the season. And the first pitch is a fastball down and away for a ball. Cucurello throws fastball, slider, curve, and change. And the 1-0. Good tailing fastball in the outside corner for a strike. Evens up the count and a ball and a strike. Center fielder Murphy shaded a bit into right center. The 1-1. That's on the outside corner at the knees, and the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Infield plays Tarada Herzer pretty much straight away. And the 1-2 offering. Hit off the end of the bat down the first baseline, and the call and the catch is made by Costantino. And 1 down here for Swarthmore in the bottom of the first. That'll bring to the plate Luke Mutz. Mutz had 2 RBIs and actually 4 hits in the first game of the season against the Red Hawks. He's got the 2nd best average on Swarthmore. 373 average, no home runs and 12 RBIs. Breaking ball is hit foul sharply down the third baseline. And the count, no balls and a strike to Mutz. Left-hander Cucurello into the wind, and the next pitch is a fastball that's a little bit inside, a ball and a strike. One of the unique features here at Clothier Field on the campus of Swarthmore, fans can hang over the railing in left center field and watch the game. Here's a nice bunt down the third base line, and this won't be playable for Norton. A bunt single, and the first hit of the ball game goes to Swarthmore's 2-hole hitter Luke Mutz.
Now batting number 2, Austin Burgess.
That'll bring Burgess to the plate. That bunt was deaded perfectly down the third base line, and the left-handed hitting Mutz able to make it to first without a throw. Burgess on the year batting .300, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, and he takes a pitch in for a strike. Shortstop Moore and the second baseman Feaster play up the middle at double play depth. Cucurello looking over to first, comes to the plate, and it's a fastball up and away for a ball, and the count evens up. Mutz takes his lead off of first. Pitch home. That's a good fastball underneath the hands of Burgess on the inside corner for a strike, and the count now a ball and 2 strikes. No score here in the bottom of the first. And the 1-2. Breaking ball hit sharply past the diving Norton into left field for a base hit. Mutz will stop at second. So Swarthmore with back-to-back hits here. And they have 2 on with 1 out for Matthew Silvestri. Cucurullo came into the game with opponents only hitting .224 against him. But he gives up a couple of singles here, and the cleanup man, the DH Silvestri, will bat. Silvestri, .262 hitter, no home runs, 5 RBIs. Cucurullo's pitch to the plate, big swing and a miss. And Cucurullo missed his spot a bit there as that pitch came back on the inner part of the plate with Garino set up on the outside part of the plate. Here's the 0-1. Downstairs with the fastball, and the count evens up. Here's the 1-1. Good curveball in for a strike. And the count now a ball and 2 strikes. Olworther, the left fielder, playing pretty deep in left field. Here's the 1-2. That's in the dirt, and a good job by Silvestri to lay off of it as the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cucurullo getting pushed here in the bottom of the first inning. Two. That one is laced out into center field, and that's going to fall in front of Murphy for a base hit. Station-to-station baseball as Mutz had to wait to see if that one was going to be caught or drop in, and he will stop at third. 3 straight singles here for Swarthmore in the bottom of the first. And the bases are loaded for Paul Cook. Cook, the third best hitting player on the Garnet. .341 average, no home runs, 2 RBIs. Swarthmore as a team has only hit 6 home runs so far this year in 15 games. Pitch to the plate is down and away for a ball. Center fielder Murphy plays Cook around to the opposite field, so there's a huge gap in right center. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball, they appeal to Mark Holland in the field. He says that Cook did not go, and the count now 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 offering. Fastball on the plate on the outside corner, and the count now 2 balls and a strike. It's a good 2-0 pitch there by Cucurullo, who can't afford to fall behind much further here with the bases loaded and 1 out. Here's the 2-1. That's outside, ball 3. Swarthmore threatening here in the first. Here's the 3-1. Good pitch to hit, fouled off behind the plate. Cook was right on it. And the count now full 3-2. Cucurullo is set. 3-2 offering. Hit foul back to the screen. He stays alive. So he's fouled a couple back here as Cucurullo for Montclair State trying to bear down with the bases loaded. 3-2. Downstairs, ball 4. Cucurullo walks in a run, and the Garnets take a 1-0 lead. So Mutz scores from third base. Burgess up to third. Silvestri to second, and Cook aboard with a well-earned walk. And it's 1-0 Swarthmore. And a conversation will now ensue on the mound as the pitching coach, Casey Gaynor, will come out with the infield. So it was a super fast top of the first inning with Montclair State retired in order, 1-2-3. Now 4 straight hitters have reached for Swarthmore here with 1 out in the bottom of the first. And that'll bring up Max Rothwarg here with the bases still loaded. Rothwarg batting .250. No home runs, 6 RBIs on the year. Swarthmore a chance to really put up a crooked number here in the first inning. If Rothwarg can do some damage. Here's the pitch to the plate. Foul tips it into the glove of Garino for strike 1. That's now 23 pitches here in the first inning for Cucurullo. Here's the 0-1. Fouled back behind home plate, so Cucurullo gets ahead in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 2. That one fouled back towards the screen behind home plate as Rothwarg stayed alive. He fouled off a pitch that was probably up and away as Cucurullo trying to get him to chase. Sixth batter to hit here in the bottom of the first for Swarthmore. The 0-2. Stays alive, reaches out, fouls it back behind home plate. That was a protective swing by Rothwarg just to stay alive at the plate. The 0-2. Lays off that pitch. That was up and away. And the count now a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. Up and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. Grounded down to third. It's played by Norton. Throws to second for 1. That's all they will get. So run will score as Burgess comes home. Silvestri to third base. Rothwarg with an RBI fielder's choice. And it's now 2-0 Swarthmore. And that'll bring up Nate Jabara. So runners now at the corners with 2 down. Jabara, 206 hitter. He has one of Swarthmore's 6 home runs on the year and has 4 RBIs. And that home run actually came yesterday in the loss against Immaculata. First pitch is upstairs for a ball. The 1-0. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Cucurilla has labored here in the first as he's gone above 30 pitches. Here's the 2-0. That one is off of the glove of the catcher, Garino. Probably going to be a pass ball as Rothwarg moves up to second base. And now that puts runners in scoring position with the count 3 balls and no strikes to Jabara. There is a base open. Emmett Reynolds waits on deck if Cucurilla loses Jabara. And he does with a 4-pitch walk. Second walk of the inning. And that'll reload the bases for Emmett Reynolds. Reynolds batting .250, no home runs and 5 RBIs. There have been 3 hits in the inning, a couple of walks, and the bases loaded up with Swarthmore looking to pile on some more. Here's a pitch fouled back behind the plate for strike 1. The 0-1, up and in. The 1-1 pitch. That's a curveball that floats in upstairs, and the count now 2 balls and a strike. The alarm going off behind the left field wall cannot be helpful here for Cucurella with his concentration. The 2-1 popped up. Now go out of play behind the Montclair State dugout down the first base line. Two balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first with 2 runs in for Swarthmore. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Reynolds down on strikes to end the first inning, but not before. Swarthmore scores 2 runs in the inning, 3 hits, no errors, and they leave him loaded. We go to the second. It's 2-0 Swarthmore here on the Garnet Sports Network. We go to the top of the second inning. It's 2-0 Swarthmore here on the Garnet Sports Network. It was a super quick top of the first inning for Edward Berry. He threw only 7 pitches. And the hitters to face him here in the top of the second will be Michael Murphy, Andrew Olworther, and Ryan McKenna for the Redhawks. Murphy on the year batting .352, a home run and 15 RBIs. And the first pitch is downstairs below the knees for ball 1. The 1-0. Bopped up foul back behind home plate, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Montclair State, they play their home games at Yogi Berra Stadium in Little Falls, New Jersey. That's also home of the New Jersey Jackals of the Frontier League. The 1-1. Hit sharply through the hole on the left side for a base hit. So Murphy, the first base runner for Montclair State. A single here to start the second. And that'll bring up Andrew Allworther. Allworther only batting .212, a home run and 7 RBIs on the year. Montclair State 11-4. They're 5-1 away, 5-3 on a neutral field, and they also competed down south earlier in March. They played in Myrtle Beach, won all 3 games as part of that trip. As Allworther takes a strike. Montclair State, they compete in the NJAC Conference. They compete against the likes of Rowan, Keene, Rutgers Newark, William Patterson, Stockton, Rutgers Camden, Ramapo, TCNJ, and New Jersey City University. Here's a ball that's hit out to right center field. Playable, though, for Cook. He makes the catch on the line out as Murphy will have to retreat back to first base. That'll bring up McKenna, the right fielder, batting .327 on the year, no home runs and 9 RBIs. Good season last year for the Red Hawks. They went 20-10, 11-7 in the NJAC, and they ended up losing in the NJAC quarterfinals to Keene. There's a throw over to first base. And back safely is Murphy. Head coach Dave Lorber is in his 3rd season as the leader for the squad. Pitch to the plate. Fouled back to the screen. And the count, no balls and a strike to McKenna with the runner on first, 1 down. And Swarthmore leading this one early on, 2-0. The 0-1. Swing and a miss and an off-speed pitch in the dirt. And the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Good off-speed pitch that time from Berry. The 0-2. Foul tipped, swing and a miss. Into the glove of Jacobson for out number 2 here in the second. And that'll bring up the catcher, Andrew Garino. Garino batting .381. No home runs, 8 RBIs on the campaign so far for Montclair State. Might be an opportunity for Murphy to look to run on the year. 4 steals and 7 attempts. Starts and stops as the first pitch is up and in for a ball. Montclair is a team 32 stolen bases and 41 attempts. Here's the 1-0. Hit off the end of the bat, out towards second base. Fielded cleanly by Jabara, throws across to first for the final out in the frame. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. Go to the bottom of the second. It's Swarthmore 2, Montclair State nothing here on the Garnet Sports Network. Back here at Swarthmore College, Clothier Field. Steve Rudenstein here on the Garnet Sports Network. Thanks for joining us on a beautiful day. Temperatures around 70 degrees. Some passing clouds in the sky. As Swarthmore looks to get back in the win column. Coming off of a loss yesterday against Immaculata. Left-hander Cucurella threw a lot of pitches there in the bottom of the first. 39 pitches there in the first inning for the left-hander. And he will face 9, 1, and 2 here in the bottom of the second. The catcher, Jacobson, will be the first one to face him. Jacobson just playing in his 8th game of the year, has only 12 plate appearances, 4 for 12 so far this season. And momentarily stop before the start of the inning as the catcher, Gorino, adjusts his equipment. And we're set to go with the frame as the first pitch is a curveball that's in for a strike. It's a big strikeout for Cucurella to get Reynolds to end the bottom of the first. Could have been a whole lot worse than the 2 runs allowed, with Swarthmore loading up the bases a couple of times. Here's the 1-1. Late cut and a foul down the first baseline by Jacobson. And the count now, a ball and 2 strikes. Swarthmore did not compete last season because of the COVID pandemic. Here's a tapper right in front of the plate. Garino has it, fires to first in time. 2-3 on the putout. Nice job by the Montclair State catcher to quickly get on the ball. And one away here in the bottom of the second. Swarthmore's only a few years removed from their best season in school history in 2018 when they won 38 games and competed in the D3 World Series. Tarada Herzer will bat now. He popped out to start that first inning. Takes a breaking ball outside for a ball. After Tarada Herzer was retired, 4 straight players reached for Swarthmore. Next pitch down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 is hit sharply, and that's going to sneak through into left field for a base hit. So that's the 4th hit allowed by the left-hander Cucurella. And 1 on and 1 out here in the second. Luke Mutz really got things going for Swarthmore in that first inning with a bunt single down the third base line. And he scored the game's first run. First pitch, good tailing fastball for a strike. The 0-1. That one's lined down the third base side. That's going to be in for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Tarada Herzer's flying around. He's going to be waved in. Cutoff man is missed, and he will score without a throw. So it's a 1-out RBI double for Mutz, and the lead increases to 3-0 for Swarthmore. Probably the sharpest hit ball for either squad so far this afternoon. And it'll bring up Austin Burgess, who singled and scored the second run for Swarthmore this afternoon. Base hit by Tarada Herzer, the 5th hit of the afternoon in 2 innings for Swarthmore. First pitch is popped up a mile high down the first baseline. Giving chase is Cosentino, and it'll end up falling in for a foul ball. Just kind of lost sight of it with the sun and the clouds overhead. Overran it. That would have been a nice pick-me-up there for the pitcher, Cucurullo, but it ends up falling harmlessly to the ground for strike two. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch home. Called strike. Rather, the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Burgess down in the count. Swing and a miss. He's now down on strikes. Good changeup. Down and away, got him out in front. And that is out number 2 here in the second.
Now bag number 23, Matt Silvestri.
For Cucurullo, that's his second strikeout. 2 down, that'll bring up Matt Silvestri, who singled to center field his first time up. And the pitch to the plate. Popped up foul, back behind home plate for strike 1. Good news for Cucurullo, even though he's given up a run here in the second, is he's thrown far fewer pitches than he did in the first. But obviously needs one more out to end the frame. The 0-1 is a breaking ball that's fouled in and out of the glove of Garino. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Second baseman Feaster close to the bag behind Cucurullo in case there's a pickoff attempt. And now a spin by the left-hander. No throw back to second as diving back safely is Mutz. Cucurullo set. There goes the runner for third. Pitch is hit out towards right center field. Hit pretty well. Going back, though, is McKenna. He has a play, and he makes the catch for the final out here in the second inning. Swarthmore, though, scores a run to increase the lead. 1 run in the inning. There were 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Through 2, it's 3-0 Swarthmore here on the Garnet Sports Network. On to the third inning on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Steve Rudenstein here on the Garnet Sports Network. It's 3-0 Swarthmore as Montclair will have 8, 9, and 1 to bat here in the top of the third. Jason Moore, the shortstop, will lead things off. Moore batting .275, 2 home runs, and 14 RBIs on the season. So far in the first 2 innings, Edward Berry has just allowed the 1 single to Murphy in the second. And the first pitch is in for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Big looping curveball is swung on a miss by Moore, and The right-hander. Barry's ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Just threw pure heat by Moore. Third strikeout for Barry. 1 down here in the 3rd inning. That'll bring up Miles Feaster, the 9-hole hitter for the Red Hawks. 286 hitter, no home runs, 4 RBIs. Lines went out to right field, and diving and making the catch is Cook. That one was slicing away from him, but he's able to make the play as he falls to the ground for out number 2. Our best defensive play so far this afternoon, courtesy of the right fielder Cook. And that'll bring up Norden with nobody on and 2 outs. So for Barry, 8 of 9 retired so far here through 2 2/3. And the first pitch is in for a strike to Norden. Norden grounded out to the third baseman Mutz, his first time up to start the top of the first. Here's the 0-1. It's a changeup that misses in tight. And the count now evens up. One. That's a called strike on the inside corner. Jacobson held it an extra second and got the call from our home plate umpire, Arthur Chapman. The 1-2. That one's hit sharply back to the screen behind home plate, and the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Last year, Norden led the team in both steals and also scored 39 runs. Norden came into the season needing 20 hits to reach 200 hits in his career, and he achieved that earlier this campaign. Curveball evens up at 2-2. Norden came into today's game with 24 hits on the year, so by surpassing the 200 hit total in his career, the 13th player in program history he becomes to get over 200 hits. 2-2. That one misses upstairs with the curveball, and the count goes full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff coming here from Barry. Swing and a miss. Went up and out of the zone to get Norden to chase. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Barry. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. To the bottom of the 3rd we go. It's 3-0 Swarthmore over Montclair State on the Garnet Sports Network. Bottom of the 3rd inning for Swarthmore, as they scored 2 in the first, a run in the second to take this 3-0 advantage over Montclair State. And it'll be Cook, Ruffwarg, and Jabara to bat here in the 3rd. Cook walked with the bases loaded in the first, and that brought home the first run of the afternoon for the Garnet. Cucurilla, 54 pitches in the first 2 innings, with most of those coming in the bottom of the first. Cook shows bunt, takes a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Already 1 bunt single this afternoon for the Garnet. That was Mutz back in the first inning. Shows bunt again. This time pulls the bat back as the pitch is up and out of the zone. Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Carino tried to frame that one, but a little bit too far wide. Here's the 2-1 offering. That one is a called strike, fastball outside corner. Count evens up 2-2. Two-two pitch. That one's low, below the knees. And Cook has drawn a full count here to start the bottom of the 3rd inning. That pitch is skied to right center. McKenna has it sized up for Montclair State. He makes the catch. And that is 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Rothwar will bat now. He grounded into a fielder's choice, picked up an RBI on the ground out in the 1st inning. And the pitch, curveball for a strike. The 0-1. Breaking ball is hit out to short. On a few hops, it's played by Moore, who throws across for out number 2. Cucurella tried to make the play himself. Probably a good thing for the Red Hawks that the ball didn't glance off of his glove, so it went straight to Moore for out number 2. Here's Nate Jabara. Takes an off-speed pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Jabara walked in the 1st. The 0-1. Late on that fastball, and he falls behind quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Cucurella trying to pick up his first 1-2-3 inning of the afternoon. Pitch is cut on and found back behind home plate. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Left-hander who sets up on the 3rd base side of the rubber. Comes home with the 0-2. It's fouled off. Jabara stays alive. Well, a quick inning here would really help Cucurella with that pitch count. The 0-2. Breaking ball off the plate outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. That one's hit out to left field. Olworther going back, still going back, and that ball is gone over the wall. A solo home run for Jabara. His 2nd home run and 2nd home run in back-to-back days. And Swarthmore extends the lead to 4-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd. And that brings the whole team out of the dugout to congratulate Jabara. Just the 7th home run in the 16th game of the season for the team. First pitch to Reynolds is fouled in and out of the glove of Garino. Off the bat, it looked like Olworther had kind of sized it up, but kept on drifting back towards that wall and finally ran out of room. The 0-1 hit sharply foul up the third base side, and the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. For Cucurella, that's just the second home run that he's allowed on the season in 21-plus innings of work. The 0-2. Change up, just missed. And here's the 1-2 to Reynolds. Foul it at the plate. Stays alive. At the 6th hit in 3 innings for Swarthmore. The 1-2. Just missed again. Cucurella throwing some decent pitches, but not getting Reynolds to chase and just missing his spot off the plate. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Finally got him. So Reynolds strikes out, but Swarthmore scores again. This time on the solo home run with 2 outs by Jabara. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. Through 3 here this afternoon from Swarthmore. It is 4-0 Garnet over Montclair State on the Garnet Sports Network. For 4-0 Swarthmore as we go to the top of the 4th inning. The Garnet have scored runs in all 3 of their frames at the plate and have staked Barry to a 4-0 advantage as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Barry has done his part for the Garnet. He's only allowed 1 base runner. That came with Murthy's hit to start the 2nd. Peter Cosentino will lead things off. There'll be 2-3-4 for the Redhawks. Cosentino last year hit 3 home runs in the first game of the season for Montclair State in a win over Cabrini. And he was a all-NJAC performer during the 2021 season. Grounded out on 1 pitch back in the 1st. And first pitch is a breaking ball in for a strike. Barry's 0-1. In on the hands, and Cosentino fouls it off to the screen behind home plate. Corner infielders tight to the lines, trying to prevent an extra base hit. Here's the 0-2. Hit sharply, and it goes fair. It somehow snuck past Mutz. Down into foul territory up the left field line, and it'll be a leadoff double for Cosentino. Mutz was so close to that line, and it's almost like he could touch it. But that got past him, and a leadoff double for Cosentino. That one must have just gone over the bag up that third base side. The designated hitter, Jordan Yurkevich, struck out his first time up. And Montclair State trying to get back in the game as they have their leadoff base runner in scoring position. First pitch is up and in for a ball. First time the leadoff base runner, or actually rather it's second time the leadoff base runner has been on for Montclair State, as Murphy's hit back in the second, led things off in that frame. Here's the 1-0. Down and away, and the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Barry checks the runner. The 2-0 delivery is a cue shot out to first base. That'll be a fair ball. Played on a hop and fielded by Reynolds for the out. Moving up to third base is Cosentino. So Yurkevich is retired for the first out here in the fourth, and that'll bring up Michael Murphy. The Swarthmore defense looks like they'll concede a run with a ground ball up the middle as they play the middle infielders at normal depth. The corner infielders take a couple steps back as well. Curveball in for a strike outside corner. Actually, that pitch looked moving more like a slider there as cut across the plate for a strike. Here's the 0-1. That one is looped into left field. That's going to be a base hit. So Montclair State is on the board as Cosentino scores, and then the ball was misplayed out in left field by Burgess. So Murphy with a hit and then advances to second base on the error by Burgess. First error of the afternoon for either side. So another runner in scoring position for Montclair State as Olworther, who lined out to right field his first time up, will step in here with Murphy at second. Spin, but no throw by Berry as he looks back to base runner. Olworther had a terrific season a year ago. He reached base safely in every single game he played for the Red Hawks. Also had 5 hits in a game. He's only the 6th player to do that in school history. There's a pitch that's fouled off to the screen behind home plate for a strike. So far, though, this year it's been a slower start for Olworther, with his average hovering around 200. The 0-1. That one is hit on the right side. That one's going to sneak through for a base hit. Murphy's going to hold up at third base. Olworther with the 3rd hit of the inning for Montclair State. And runners now at the corners with 1 out for McKenna. That ball wasn't hit particularly hard by the left fielder, but in a perfect spot in the right side hole. McKenna will bat now. He struck out swinging in the second. Middle infielders at double play depth. Pitch home is on the outside corner for a strike. So this is the first inning so far today where Berry has had to really battle through pitching with base runners on. The 0-1 is well off the plate. A ball and a strike now to the left-handed hitting McKenna. The 1-1. Late cut and a foul back behind home plate by McKenna. Montclair State trying to battle back in this one, down 4-1 here in the fourth. The 1-2 popped up left side of the infield. I don't think this is going to be able to score the run, as Rothwarg in shallow left field makes the catch. Burgess was flying in from left. Fortunately, no collision between the left fielder and the shortstop. And that is out number 2. So Barry can see his way out of this inning with only allowing the 1 run if he can get Guarino, the catcher for Montclair State. Guarino grounded out to second his first time up. And the pitch is a check swing, but going around was Guarino. Olworther scampers up to second as that pitch got away from Jacobson. So now 2 in scoring position, and the count no balls and a strike to Guarino. So a base hit would be huge here for Guarino. Would probably cut the deficit to 1 run. With 2 outs, you would expect that the runner at second base, Olworther, would be coming around on anything hit to the outfield. Count a ball and a strike to Guarino. Barry's 1-1. Hit sharply foul down the right field side. Barry ahead of the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He already has 4 strikeouts on the afternoon. 5th one would be big here for the Garnet. One, 2. Swing and a miss. There's that punch out. His 5th of the day, and he strands 2 in scoring position. In the inning for Montclair State, a run, there were 3 hits, 1 error, and they leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 4-1 Swarthmore here on the Garnet Sports Network. Bottom of the 4th inning. Steve Rudenstein here on the Garden Sports Network. Thanks for tuning in on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, late March college baseball. And for Swarthmore here in the bottom of the 4th, they'll have 9, 1, and 2 to bat off of the left-hander Patrick Cucurullo, who after a tough first inning where he really did a pretty good job only allowing the 2 runs, is allowed some runs, but kept his team for the most part in the game this afternoon, kind of hoping his offense can start to get the bats rolling as we make our way through the middle innings. Sam Jacobson Grounded out his first time up. That was a ball that was topped off the end of the bat in front of the plate. And the catcher, Garino, did a good job to jump on it and throw him out at first base. First pitch by the left-hander is down and in for a ball. The 1-0. Kind of spiked that one as it ends up missing. Again, down and in. And the count 2 balls and no strikes. Cucurella misses low again, falls behind Jacobson here. 3 balls and no strikes. Swarthmore has scored in all 3 innings so far this afternoon. 6 hits on the game. 4 pitches low. And Jacobson draws the walk. That's the 3rd walk issued by the left-hander Cucurella. And that'll bring up the top of the order and Tarada Herzer. 3rd time at the plate. He's 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the 2nd his last time up. And the first pitch is a strike. Despite all the activity on the base pass, this is actually the first frame where Swarthmore's had their leadoff man on base. The 0-1. Late cut and a foul down the first base side and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. That one off of Cucurella. He's able to recover, throws to first, and gets the out. That ball hit sharply off of the left-hander's foot. Couldn't find it for a moment, but he's able to recover and make the play with Jacobson moving up to second base. And that'll bring up Luke Mutz. Mutz hasn't been retired yet this afternoon. He's 2 for 2, had a bunt single in the first and scored, and then had an RBI double in the second. So Swarthmore threatening again with the runner in scoring position. And the pitch home. Upstairs for a ball. The 1-0 misses low, so for Cucurella, struggling to find the strike zone here in the 4th, and a lot of these pitches have been below the knees. The 2-0 is an off-speed pitch that misses down and away. There is a base open. Burgess waits on deck for the Garnet. Fastball right down the middle for a strike, and the count now 3 balls and a strike. Three 1. That one fouled at home plate. And the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cucurella now up over 80 pitches, so there is a bit of activity starting to get going for Montclair State down the right field line. This likely Cucurella's last inning of work, and he's trying to get through it without allowing a run. Cucurella steps off the rubber. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Mutz retired for the first time today. And that's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th.
Now batting number 2, Austin Burgess.
And that'll bring up Austin Burgess. He's 1 for 2 this afternoon with a single and a run scored in the first. The first pitch. Change up for a strike, and now going to third and getting there without the third baseman Norden being on the bag is Jacobson. If the third baseman Norden was covering at the bag, they probably would have had a good chance to get Jacobson, but instead it's a stolen base. And a runner at third base now with the count, no balls and a strike. Next pitch is lofted out to right field. McKenna coming in a couple steps will make the catch, so the stolen base doesn't hurt Cucurella, and he gets through an inning without allowing a run. In the frame, no runs, there were no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We're through 4 this afternoon. It's 4-1 Swarthmore here on the Garnet Sports Network. Four 4-0 Swarthmore as we go to the 5th. Here in the top of the 5th inning for Montclair State, it will be 8-9-1. Moore, Feaster, and Norden to bat. Pretty good job by the right-hander Barry to get out of a jam in the 4th. He allowed his first run of the afternoon, but was able to get the final 2 outs with runners in scoring position for the Redhawks. Five strikeouts on the afternoon for Barry. Barry came into the game with only 7 strikeouts in 10 innings of work, and so far this afternoon, the 5 in 4 innings pitched. First pitch to Jason Moore is fouled off down the third base line. No balls and a strike on the Redhawks shortstop. The 0-1. That ball is drilled foul over the Montclair State dugout. And out of play. Barry quickly ahead of the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the right-hander's 0-2. Popped up. That one will come back out of play, as giving chase was Jacobson and Reynolds, but again, that ball drifted behind the Montclair State dugout. Swarthmore had the early momentum with their prolific scoring in the first 3 frames. And we'll see if Montclair State can punch back here in the middle innings, down 3 runs. The 0-2. Fastball just off the plate. That one must have just missed, as the Swarthmore bench wanted that call. Barry's 1-2. Moore's able to hold up as the pitch missed down and away, and the count evens up. The 2-2 offering. Fouled off of Moore at the plate, and we'll do it again. Right fielder Cook plays real shallow against the right-handed hitting Moore. Huge gap in left center field if Moore can pull one on the left side. Late cut there to hang in there. Fouls it off to the screen. It's a good battle here between Barry and Moore to start the top of the fifth. Here's the 2-2. Fastball in tight, and the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Popped up foul. Barry's pitch count approaching 50, so you'd have to think that he's still got something left in the tank here as we play in the top of the 5th inning. Moore fouls one off again. One of the longer at-bats this afternoon for a Montclair hitter against Edward Barry. Three-two pitch. That ball looped down to left field, so Moore ends up winning the battle against Barry. And that gets a nice round of applause from the Montclair State dugout. And they got their leadoff man on for the 3rd time this afternoon. Miles Feaster, the 9-hole hitter, will bat now. He lined out to right field his first time up. Infield looking to turn 2 up the middle for Swarthmore. First pitch home. Popped up behind home plate. Jacobson gave it a look, but it ends up going foul over the screen and in front of the spectators behind home plate. No balls and a strike to a Feaster. Throw over to first. Back safely is Moore. You wouldn't think Moore would be looking to run here down 3 runs. On the year, he's got 2 steals in 4 attempts. The 0-1. Up and in. Good test here for Barry after that long at-bat against Moore. And he's got the top of the order coming up after Feaster. Hit and run is on, and it's played by Reynolds on the ground ball to first. He'll make the play to first base unassisted as Moore takes second. So that hit and run actually almost worked to perfection if Feaster would have hit that ball a little bit closer to the right side hole in between first and second. Instead, it's a ground out. And Norden will bat now for the 3rd time this afternoon with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. Norden 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout this afternoon. Pitch to plate. is in for a strike on the outside corner. Here's the 0-1. Hit sharply and under the glove of the first baseman Reynolds. Going to third base and stopping there is Moore. Norden with a base hit to right field, and Montclair State now with runners at the corners and one out for Peter Cosentino. Reynolds had a shot at it. Just went under his glove. And similar to the fourth, the Redhawks threatening to cut to the deficit as they trail this one by 3 runs right now. And Cosentino, one of their top hitters at the plate. First pitch ends up plunking him on the arm. So Norden will end up taking second. Cosentino aboard as he's hit by a pitch. Cosentino hit for just the second time this year. And the base is loaded for Jurkevich. And that will be preceded by a trip to the mound. And a conversation here with the entire Garnet infield. I feel like that at-bat with Moore was part of the problem this frame for Barry. Couldn't get that leadoff man after a long at-bat. Got the ground out by Feaster, but Norden and Cosentino both able to reach. So just like that, you have the go-ahead run at the plate. The tying runs are on base here for Montclair State in the top of the 5th. Barry cruised through the first 3 innings of today's game, only allowing 1 base runner in the first 3 innings. But dealt with base runners in a 6-batter 4th inning, and now facing his 5th hitter here in the 5th. Moore at third, Norden at second, Cosentino at first. Jurkevich is 0 for 2 this afternoon. And the pitch to the plate. Low for ball 1. Some activity in the Swarthmore bullpen. Here's the 1-0. Called strike at the belt. Borderline high, but called a strike, and that will help Barry here as the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. Just got a piece of it and fouls it off behind home plate, and the count now a ball and 2 strikes. Force at any base here with the bases loaded, 1 out. Swarthmore defense looking to turn 2 on the infield. One, 2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup and a big strikeout as Jurkevich goes down on strikes for the 2nd time this afternoon. 6th strikeout for Barry. And Michael Murphy will bat now with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Murphy is 2 for 2 this afternoon. In the 4th, Barry was able to get back-to-back outs with runners in scoring position and 1 out, and trying to get back-to-back outs with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the 5th. And the pitch home. Curveball. Foul tipped into the glove of Jacobson. First strike 1. The 0-1. Murphy checked his swing. They appeal to the field umpire, Mark Collins, who says that Murphy didn't go, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. One pitch. Got him an off speed as he swung over it on a pitch down and in, and the count of ball and 2 strikes. Barry pitches with a bit of emotion, and if he's able to get Murphy here, you got to expect he'll be fired up to get out of this jam. Pitch bounces up there. Nice job by Jacobson to block it and prevent that ball from getting away from home plate. Moore is dancing off third base, and you know, he probably would have attempted to score if the ball got away from the plate behind the dish. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on a pitch that was off the plate outside. Back-to-back strikeouts for Barry. And he gets out of a bases-loaded jam. In the inning for Montclair State, no runs, there were 2 hits, no errors, and they leave him loaded. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Swarthmore still leads 4-1 over Montclair State on the Garnet Sports Network. New pitcher for the Redhawks as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Brian Reese, another left-hander coming on. He's 0-1 with a 8.18 ERA. This will be his 6th appearance, and he's also started 3 games so far this year for the Redhawks. 9 strikeouts, 11 walks, and 11 innings for Reese. So the afternoon complete for Cucurella, the starter for Montclair State. He goes 4 innings, gives up 6 hits, 4 runs. They're all earned. Struck out 3 and walked 3. And right now he is on the hook for the loss in this one if Montclair State can't come back. 4, 5, and 6 to bat for Swarthmore here in the 5th. Silvestri is 1 for 2. He singled in the 1st. Pops up the first pitch. Out towards center field. Murphy takes a couple steps to his left, and he will put it away for out number 1. What a job by Edward Berry to get through that top half of this 5th inning as he was able to work out of a bases-loaded 1-out jam and not allow a run. Paul Cook will bat now. RBI walk in the 1st and flew out to right field his last time up. He takes a strike. The 0-1 from Reese. Good curveball in for a strike on the outside corner at the knees. And the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Guarino sets up again on the outer part of the plate. Reese hits its spot, but pitch missed a little bit outside, and the count now 1-2. One, two, and Cook stays alive as he fouls off the breaking ball. Left-handers, 1-2. Out in front of that changeup, it looked like, and he's able to stay alive as he fouls it off down in front of the Montclair State dugout. Reese's 1-2. Curveball is hit sharply, and that one off of the field umpire, Holland. It will go down as an infield hit. Kind of a bad break there for Cook, because if that doesn't hit Holland, that probably goes farther down the right field line and allows Cook to go up to second. So kind of a unique base hit there. And that'll bring up Max Ruffwarg. Runner at first and one down. Pitch to the plate. Fastball strike outside corner Denise. That was the 7th hit of the afternoon for Swarthmore. Here's the 0-1. Pitch may have slipped out of the hand of Reese as that one floats in high. And the count evens up 1-1. Bottom of the 5th inning, 4-1. Swarthmore on top of Montclair State. Steve Rudenstein here on the Garnet Sports Network. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. The 1-1. Pitch misses way up high again. 2 balls and a strike. Ruffwarg has a fielder's choice RBI to his name from the 1st inning. Here's the 2-1. Runner goes, pitch is slashed foul and out of play, so the hit and run was on that time for Swarthmore. Two. Cut on and fouled back behind home plate. Swarthmore's next game right here at Clothier Field. That'll be Tuesday, 3:30 game against Misericordia. And Montclair State, they will play tomorrow. They play a doubleheader at home against Manhattanville. Here's a ball that's line foul, as just getting out in front of it was Ruffwarg. Two balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first base is Cook. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. And time is called at home plate. Huge gap in right center field. McKenna playing a little bit tight to the line. Center fielder Murphy around to the pull side. Here's a breaking ball down and in. Stolen base attempt to slide it in safely is Cook. He picked a good pitch to run on as it was a curveball down and in, and he's now in scoring position. And for Cook, he's now been successful on all 8 steal attempts that he has attempted this season. Swarthmore as a team came into the game 47 of 51 in steal attempts. 3-2. Fouled off, right side. Reese has thrown a lot of pitches here, the last 2 hitters, Cook and now Ruffwarg. Three-two. Curveball, called third strike, as he's able to freeze Rothward for out number 2 here in the 5th.
Now batting number 14, Nate Jabara.
And that'll bring up Nate Jabara, who hit the game's lone home run, his second of the year, his last time up. That came with 2 outs in the 3rd inning off of the starter Cucurella. First pitch, curveball strike, outside corner. Reese checks second, the 0-1. That one's lined out towards center field. Coming on is Murphy. He's going to have to play it on a hop. Coming home to score is Cook. Jabara's second RBI of the afternoon, and it's now 5-1 Swarthmore. Thought Murphy might try to dive forward to catch it, but instead he plays it on a hop. And with 2 outs, Cook, who was at second base after the stolen base attempt, is able to come around without a throw. Reynolds takes a strike, and out at second base on the stolen base attempt is Jabara, so he's caught stealing for the final out here in the 5th. However, Swarthmore does score a run. They do it on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left. Reynolds will lead off in the 6th when we get there for Swarthmore. We're through 5. It's 5-1 Swarthmore on top of Montclair State here on the Garnet Sports Network. Five-1 Swarthmore as we go to the top of the 6th inning here on the Garnet Sports Network. And Edward Berry will stay on here in the 6th for Swarthmore as he has held the Montclair State offense at bay. This is a Montclair State offense that is outscoring its opponents by 51 runs through 15 games, but so far just a run with 6 hits scattered by Berry through 5 innings. And Andrew Olwerther will lead things off here in the 6th for Montclair State. First pitch popped up out towards shallow center, and coming on and making the catch is Tarada Herzer. Nice job in the communication between him and Jabara, as Jabara caught off by the center fielder, making the easier play. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. And we have a new batter here for Montclair State, as McKenna, the right fielder, will be replaced by Mike Alonji. First pitch to Alonji's in for a strike. Just the 6th game that he's appeared in this season, and he is 2 for 6 at the plate. The 0-1 is lined back, knocked down by the pitcher. Berry comes to his feet, throws wide, and safe at first base is Alonji. That's going to be an error on Berry, who did a nice job recovering after the line shot back up the middle. Had time to make the play, but just threw a little bit wide of Reynolds at first base. Second error committed by Swarthmore, and Alonji aboard with 1 out here in the 6th. Always scary when the line drives go back to the pitcher, but Barry did a nice job of at least knocking the ball down and probably frustrated he wasn't able to make the play. Garino, the catcher, will bat now with a runner on first and one down here in the 6th. Pitch home. Swing and a miss. Over the top of that breaking ball, down and in. Seven strikeouts so far this afternoon and 5+ innings for Barry. There's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Barry looks to first. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Still got a lot of life on that fastball as Garino was late on it. 8th strikeout for Barry. 2 down here in the 6th. And that'll bring up Jason Moore, who singled his last time up. And he was the leadoff hitter in the 5th inning and had that long at-bat against Barry. And ended up prevailing against the right-hander. Pitch home is up and in. If Swarthmore's able to win this one, it would be their 2nd victory of the season over Montclair State. Next pitch is in for a strike. Longy, who hit for McKenna, is at first base with 2 down here in the 6th. Moore tried to check on the fastball. They appeal to Mark Holland in the field, who said that Moore did not go. And the count now 2 balls and a strike. Barry ready, 2-1 pitch. That's high, ball 3. Miles Feaster, the 9-hole hitter, waits on deck if Moore is able to get aboard. (3-1). Just missed down and away, so it's a 5-pitch walk to the 8-hole hitter Moore, who's reached back-to-back times. And for the 3rd straight inning, Barry has at least two runners on to try to get through and get out of trouble. Reynolds, the first baseman, will play behind Moore. 5-1 Swarthmore trying to protect this 4-run lead here in the top of the 6th. Pitch home. Breaking ball ends up coming in low below the knees. Barry checks second. And the 1-0 pitch. Fastball upstairs. So he's fallen behind the last couple hitters. You have to think this would likely be Barry's last inning if he could get through unscathed. Pitch count over 80 now. Barry spins, looks back, Alonji to second. Montclair State has had chances here to get back in this game. They're kind of looking for that big hit. They haven't had it today. Here's the 2-0. Fastball strike outside corner at the knees. 2-1. That ball is slashed out to left field, giving chase is Burgess, going to be over his head. So there's that big hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Moore. He's going to be held up at third. So it's an RBI double for Feaster as Alonji scores to make it now 5-2 Swarthmore. Miles Feaster with his third double of the season. And Joe Norden singled his last time up in the 5th. Bats now with a couple runners in scoring position. That base hit, the 7th of the game for Montclair State off of Berry. First pitch. Fouled back behind home plate for strike 1. So tough luck this inning for Berry, because if he's able to make the accurate throw to first base, he gets Alonji, and that would have been the second out of the inning. Then he got the strikeout of Garino, and that would have been it for Montclair State. But instead, the big 2-out RBI double. Here's the breaking ball upstairs to Norden. Count evens up. Berry ready. 1-1. Slider up high. 2 balls and a strike. Cosentino waits on deck. If Norden can reach. Fastball. Misses low as Jacobson held it an extra second, hoping he'd get the call. 3 balls and a strike to Norden. The 3-1 pitch. Fouled back to the screen, and the count now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Base open at first, so if he loses Norden on walks, that would just load him up and wouldn't bring home a run. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled as that one hit the knob of the bat. That's a bad break for Norden. Norden knew that pitch was in tight. He was trying to kind of pull himself out of the way, but instead it hits the knob of the bat. And a break there for Berry as he doesn't lose them on walks. Another 3-2. Fouled off again. Good battle between Berry and Norden. Three-two. Got out in front of that one and pulls it foul. Well out of play down the left field line. Turned on that pitch as it was coming borderline strike on the inside corner. Three-two. Down and in, ball 4. Ball gets away from Jacobson, but not far enough for Moore to try to score. Second walk of the inning as Norden goes down to first base. And that'll bring up Peter Cosentino. Cosentino doubled and scored in the 4th. Pitch to the plate. Lines it, and it's caught, snared out of the air by Reynolds. And Montclair State, for the second straight inning, will strand them loaded. In the inning, there was a run. There was one hit, one error. Montclair leaves them loaded. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Swarthmore is still in front 5-2 here on the Garnet Sports Network. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Ryan McKenna was lifted for a pinch hitter in the top half of the frame. Looks like Blaze Ranadin is now playing right field for the Redhawks. And the first pitch to Emmett Reynolds for Swarthmore here in the sixth. Misses for ball one. Reynolds has struck out both times tonight. And the next offering is popped out into right center field. Murphy coming over, and he will make the play in right center field. So Reynolds is retired for out number one. Brian Reese, who came on in the fifth inning, stays on here to pitch his second inning for Montclair State.
Now batting number 4, George Briggs.
And George Briggs is the hitter now for Swarthmore. First pitch to Briggs is upstairs for a ball. Briggs batting .245 on the year, no home runs and 10 RBIs. First time these two teams played in the opener, Briggs had 3 RBIs and 2 hits. Sends one out to right field, so a chance for Ranadin. And he's able to make the play. And Briggs is retired in his first plate appearance.
Now batting number 11, Kirk Terada-Herzer.
2 down quickly here in the bottom of the sixth, and Kirk Terada-Herzer will bat. He is 1 for 3 this afternoon. First pitch, curveball strike. Reese has had good command since he came in. He's given up a run, but no walks. Picked up a strikeout looking in the fifth. And here's a ball that's popped up into shallow center field. The shortstop drifting out and making the play is Moore. So a 1-2-3 inning, and that is the first time the Garnet have been retired 1-2-3 this afternoon. No runs, hits, errors. Through 6 this afternoon from Clothier Field here at Swarthmore College. It's 5-2 Garnet on top of the Redhawks on the Garnet Sports Network. New pitcher for the Garnet here as we go to the top of the 7th. Alex Schessler is on for Swarthmore to pitch in place of Edward Berry. So Berry goes 6 innings, allows 7 hits, 2 runs. One of them was earned. Struck out 8 in this one, did Berry. And he ended up walking 2 and ended up hitting a batter. Schessler on the year, 2-0, a 3.21 ERA. 7 strikeouts, 13 walks, though, as he leads the team in walks. We also have a new catcher for Swarthmore. As Andrew Moy is the new catcher in place of Sam Jacobson. First batter to face Schessler is Yurkevich, and he's hit. So the first pitch ends up plunking Yurkevich. So an ominous start for Schessler coming in here. And that'll bring up Michael Murphy. Schessler, a junior from Oxford, Pennsylvania. Has a runner on after his first pitch as Murphy will step in. And the first pitch to Murphy is in for a strike. Murphy is 2 for 3 in this one. (5-2) Swarthmore here as we start the top of the 7th. The 0-1. Down and away. Schessler's only allowed 9 hits in 14 innings. Opponents batting 196 against the tall right-hander. There goes the runner. Pitch to the plate is hit down the right field line. That is a foul ball, and not by much. That would have been all kinds of trouble for Swarthmore if that one hit the chalk or was fair. Instead, it's fouled by a couple of feet and just a loud strike for Murphy. Hit and run was on there for Montclair State. That probably would have scored Yurkevich all the way from first base. One ball, 2 strikes. Second batter to face Schessler here in the 7th. Right-hander takes a peek at Yurkevich at first. A 1-2. Chopped to third, and it is played after a juggle. Good throw across by Mutz to Reynolds. Looked like it might be an error there for Mutz, but he's able to field that ball after the bobble and throws across for out number 1. Yurkevich takes second with 1 out, and that'll bring up Andrew Olwerther. Olwerther is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. And that probably gives Schessler a nice lift here after hitting Yurkevich. Gets that out. Gets a little confidence going. Pitch home, and that one plunks Olwerther with a breaking ball. So 2 on base as Schessler hits his 4th and 5th batters of the season. And that'll bring to the plate Blaze Rannanen for his first plate appearance. This is in the 6 hole as Michael Longi reached on an error and scored in the 6th, and here is Rannanen. First pitch to him is down and in. Rannanen, just his 12th plate appearance of the season, his 8th game. He has 3 hits and 11 plate appearances coming in. Two on, one out as Montclair State, for the 4th straight inning, has at least 2 base runners on against Swarthmore. The 1-0. There's a strike inside corner, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. In the game, Montclair State has left 9 on base through 6. Chesler checks second. Here's the 1-1. Down and in. Nice job by Moy behind the plate to block that one. The 2-1. Upstairs in the count now 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. That one is pulled foul down the first base line and out of play. And the count runs 3-2. Runners on the move. No, here's a swing and a miss. Yurkevich started and stopped from second. Chesler is able to pick up the strikeout on Blaze Rannanen for out number 2 here in the 7th. And that'll bring up Andrew Garino. Swarthmore pitching's done a good job on Garino this afternoon. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. As Chesler gets 2 outs here in the 7th and will come out for a reliever. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and tell you about the new pitcher for Swarthmore after this here on the Garnet Sports Network. New pitcher for Swarthmore here with 2 outs in the 7th is Owen Webb, appearing in his 6th game. He's got an 8.31 ERA. In 4 1/3 innings, he's allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, has struck out 4 and walked 2. Alex Chesler goes 2/3 of an inning, responsible for the 2 base runners. Picked up a strikeout and had 2 batters reach on hit by pitcher. Also apologize, not Andrew Moy behind the plate, it's Andrew Olson, who is in for Jacobson behind the plate. Olson, a senior, 6 foot, 190-pounder from Valley Cottage, New York. So third pitcher of the afternoon for the Garnet is Owen Webb. And he will face Garino. At second base is Yurkevich. At first, Olwerther. The story of this game has been Montclair State's inability to get big hits with runners on base. And another chance here in the top of the seventh. And the first pitch is a curveball for a strike. Not the easiest spot to come in when you're a reliever with runners on base, particularly in scoring position. Dancing off second is Yurkevich. Next pitch off the plate. Count evens up at 1-1. Center fielder Tarada Herzer plays a bit around to the opposite field for Garino. Here's the 1-1. Down and in with an off-speed pitch, and the count 2 balls and a strike. And another fake throw as Yurkevich is definitely disrupting the rhythm right now for the right-hander. If you're Webb, you just have to kind of forget about that runner, focus on the hitter at the plate, and get that final out. 2-1. That ball is skied out to left field. Burgess giving chase. Back towards the corner and the wall. It's gone! A game-tying 3-run home run for Anthony Garino. Montclair State finally delivers with runners on, and they tie this game at 5-5 here in the seventh. That ball just kept on carrying out towards the left field corner. And Owen Webb greeted by a 3-run home run. For Garino, his first home run of the season. And a brand new game here in the seventh with the score now knotted at 5-5. Here's a bunt attempt. Moore is able to lay it down. Throw to first is late. Good decision by Moore to try to take advantage of a frustrated right-hander Webb, and Webb could not feel cleanly on the bunt. Going to be scored an error there on the pitcher Webb. Third error of the afternoon against Swarthmore. For Owen Webb, the second home run he's allowed this year. Next pitch in for a strike. Miles Feaster, who had an RBI double his last time up, steps in. Ball off of the glove of Webb. That's going to be trouble in the infield. No play. So a couple of plays in the infield that Swarthmore's not been able to make. Puts 2 runners back on base with 2 down here in the seventh. Feaster aboard on the infield hit. And Norton up to the plate for the 5th time he walked in the 6th. And the momentum is completely changed here in Montclair State's favor. Here's a foul back behind home plate. And tough luck for the starter now, Edward Berry for Swarthmore, who was in line to pick up the win if Swarthmore was able to maintain the lead, but he'll get a no decision. Chesler's line is complete as he ends up being responsible for 2 of the runs that scored there. 0-1, grounded slowly on the right side, fielded by Jabara. He throws over to first, and the inning finally comes to an end. But Montclair State ties it up on the big 3-run home run by Garino. In the frame, 3 runs. There were 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. Stretch time here from Clothier Field at Swarthmore College. It's 5-5 between the Garnet and the Redhawks on the Garnet Sports Network. Five game as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning here on the Garnet Sports Network. And Swarthmore led this game by scores of 4-0 and 5-1, but 4 unanswered runs for the Redhawks has made this a brand new game as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Brian Reese on for his 3rd inning of work. Will face 2, 3, and 4 for Swarthmore here in the 7th. Lefty on lefty here is a breaking ball for a strike outside corner at the knees. Mutz is 2 for 3. He's got 2 hits, a bunt single in the first, and then an RBI double in the second. Here's a line shot up the middle. That's a base hit. Hanging breaking ball that time from Reese is hit into center field for a leadoff single. Burgess 1 for 3, singled and scored in the first. That was the 10th hit of the afternoon for Swarthmore. Fastball outside for a ball to Burgess. Outfield plays Burgess to pull, with the center fielder Murphy playing a bit in left center. The 1-0. Change up, strike outside corner at the knees, a good one from Reese. Clouds have started to roll in here. We were under mostly sunny skies for first part of this game, but not much blue sky to speak of now here midway through this one. Good pickoff attempt and back safely as Mutz. Oh, now they got it picked off. And the ball hits the runner, Mutz, and goes into left center field. He's going to go all the way to third. So that's going to be an error on Costantino on the throw. And what a break for Swarthmore. Looked like Mutz was going to end up being caught stealing between first and second. Instead, he's at third base with nobody out. First error of the afternoon on Montclair State. And now they're going to bring the infield in here for Burgess with the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Foul tip, good change up. Got him out in front, and he just got a piece of it, but fouled it into the glove of Garino. The 1-2. Wouldn't chase that one off the plate. This is that shutdown inning after you score a lot of runs. You look to keep the opponent at bay the next time you take the mound, but Swarthmore threatening to retake the lead here as Reese goes full on Burgess. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two. Walks Burgess. Reese did have a base open, but I'm sure he wanted to get that first out. Silvestri will bat now with first and third, nobody out. Go-ahead run is at third base here in the bottom of the 7th with nobody out. Interesting to see what Swarthmore does here with Burgess at first and how aggressive they are to try to get him in a scoring position and force a decision by Garino whether he's going to try to make a throw down to second or hold it. Because Mutz is at third and they don't want him obviously to come home on a throw down to second. First pitch to Silvestri. Change up strike outside corner. The 0-1. Fastball, well off the plate. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. There goes Burgess, and they do throw to second. It's late. No attempt by Mutz to come home. It'll be a stolen base for Burgess. For Burgess, that's his 8th steal in 9 attempts. Two and 1 the count to Silvestri. Montclair State moves the middle infielders back so they concede a run with a ground ball up the middle likely. Corner infielders, though, are up, and they likely will come home if there's a ground ball to either the first or third baseman. Two-one pitch. Fouled back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swarthmore looking to retake the lead here in the 7th. There's a pitch that just misses a little bit high. Good eye by Silvestri. He draws a full count after the full count to Burgess. Paul Cook waiting on deck. Three-two. Off of the glove on the ground ball to Reese. And it's going to be an infield hit for Silvestri. Hit that one sharply. Reese kept it in front of him. Base is loaded for Paul Cook. And it looks like Montclair State's going to make a move here and take Reese out of the ball game. So we will take a quick timeout and be back with more here from Clothier Field at Swarthmore College. 5-5 here in the bottom of the 7th on the Garnet Sports Network. New pitcher for Montclair State is right-hander Justin Silva. Silva appearing in his 5th game of the season. 3.60 ERA. 7 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 5 innings on the year. Silva is a senior from Woodbridge, New Jersey. 6'3", 210-pounder. Brian Reese comes out after 2 2/3 innings, and he's responsible for all 3 runners, so his line is incomplete. He gives up 4 hits in those 2+ innings, struck out 1 and walked 1. Huge chance for Swarthmore to retake the lead after Montclair State tied the game in the top half of the 7th on the 3-run home run by Garino. At third base for Swarthmore is Luke Mutz. Austin Burgess is at second, and Matt Silvestri at first. And here is Paul Cook. Force at any base for Montclair State. Pitch home, nearly hit him. Fastball in sight for ball 1. The 1-0. That one's upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Tough spot for Silva to come in. No room to maneuver with the bases loaded and nobody out. 2-0's a fastball in there. And they count 2 balls and a strike. Here's the 2-1. Fouled back to the screen. Borderline strike outside corner. And Cook had an offering at it. Silva has the pitch he likes. The 2-2. That ball is served down into right center field. That might clear the bases. Mutz scores. Burgess is coming around. He'll score. Silvestri's going to stop at third. It's a 2-run double for Paul Cook. And Swarthmore retakes the lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning by a score of 7-5. Got fastball middle in, did Cook, and he did not miss it. Second hit of the afternoon for Cook, his second and third RBIs. Cook actually came into this game with only 2 RBIs on the season and now has 5 with 3 RBIs so far this afternoon. And Max Rothwarg will bat here with 2 still in scoring position. Called strike outside corner. 7-5 game, bottom of the 7th, and a back and forth affair, particularly in this 7th inning. Here's the 0-1. Popped up foul back by no plate. Well, given Swarthmore's tough season so far on the mound, they are looking to pile on runs here in this inning to try to grow that lead as much as they can. Infield comes in with the count 0-2 to Rothwarg. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Since he's down on strikes for the second time this afternoon, And that'll bring up Nate Jabara, and he's had a heck of a ball game and a home run in the third.
Now batting number 14, Nate Jabbar.
RBI single in the fifth. Infield stays in as Montclair State looks to cut down a run at the plate if there's a ground ball. He shows bunt. Possible safety squeeze play in the works there for Swarthmore, but Jabara did not offer at it. Tried to check, but went around. On the next pitch, that was off the plate outside to count 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Slider outside, 2 balls and a strike. There is a base open. Emmett Reynolds waits on deck. Two-one pitch. Fastball outside, ball 3. So Silva might be more interested in going after Reynolds and setting up a force again at every base. See if he throws Jabbar anything good to hit here to count 3-1. It is a pitch on the plate. It's popped up, and this won't score a run for Swarthmore. Play is made by the shortstop Moore. That's now 2 outs. And Silva can escape this inning with only 2 runs allowed if he's able to get Reynolds. Reynolds 0 for 3, flew out to center field his last time up. First pitch. Off-speed pitch for a strike, inside corner. Silva ready. Fastball. Got Reynolds to chase, down and away, 0-2. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Threw a slider. Got him on 3 pitches. 2 strikeouts for Silva, and outside of the big hit by Cook, he's able to limit the damage. In the inning for Swarthmore, they do score the 2 go-ahead runs. There were 3 hits in the inning, no errors, and they leave 2. We are through 7. It's 7-5 Swarthmore on top of Montclair State on the Garnet Sports Network. Fourth pitcher of the afternoon coming in for Swarthmore here as we start the top of the 8th. Alex Rimmerman, 0-2, 11.74 ERA. This will be his 4th game. third out of the bullpen. And he has struck out 9, walked 7, and 7 2/3 so far this year. Owen Webb, who was the third pitcher for Swarthmore, he goes a third of an inning. Allowed the big hit, the 3-run home run by Gorino. And that was the only run he was charged with. No walks, no strikeouts for Webb. 7-5 Swarthmore, so they retake the lead in the 7th on the big hit by Cook. And we go to the 8th. 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for Montclair State. Rimmerman's a freshman from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Played his high school ball at Lenape. Peter Costantino will lead things off for the Red Hawks. He's 1 for 3 this afternoon, had the double and scored a run in the 4th. Five runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Montclair State. Swarthmore has 7 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors. First pitch by Rimmerman here in the 8th. Down and away for a ball. So Montclair State will look to rally again. They were down 3 runs going into the top of the 7th, down 2 runs here as we start the 8th. Next pitch is off the plate outside. What helped the Red Hawks last inning was 2 batters hit by Alex Schessler. Here's the 2-0. In for a strike, 2-1. Two-one pitch. Grounded up the middle. It's got eyes. It's going to go into center field for a base hit. So Costantino didn't hit it particularly hard, but with the shortstop, Rothwark shaded over into the hole, that left the vacancy up the middle. And that'll bring up Jurkovic. 0 for 3, was hit to start the 7th and scored a run. So that leadoff man is on again for Montclair State. First pitch is top foul, just in front of the Swarthmore dugout. Here's the 0-1. Pop foul back behind home plate. Well, what's plagued the Swarthmore pitching staff this year, beyond just the ERA that's north of 7, it came into the game with 84 walks and 123 innings. And also given up 169 hits in 123 innings. The 0-2. That pitch just missed in that quadrant on the outside corner, about belt high, just missed. Rimmerman. Is 1-2. Curveball. That one just missed the inside corner. So 2 pitches that missed by Microscopic margins. Evens the count at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Down and away, ball 3. So Jurkovic has worked his way back in the count, was down 0-2, and now 3-2. Wouldn't think Constantino would be running here down 2 runs, but we'll see. Starts and stops. Pitch is swung on and missed. Got him to chase. And Jurkovic down on strikes for the 3rd time this afternoon. That'll bring up Michael Murphy. That was a big chase there because if he holds and doesn't swing, it's 2 on and nobody out. Murphy is 2 for 4, RBI hit in the 4th. First pitch by Rimmerman. Slap Fallon out of play, back behind home plate for strike 1. The 0-1. Swung on a missed. No balls and 2 strikes on Murphy. Rimmerman, one of the team leaders in strikeouts coming into the game. Came in today 2nd on the team behind Zach Camp. Breaking ball, just getting a piece of it as Murphy fouls it back to stay alive. Runner at first, 1 down. Swarthmore leading by 2 here in the 8th. And I think that's going to be a balk. No, they called time. So the timeout called just before Rimmerman moved. The 0-2. Ball downstairs, 1-2. One, two. Murphy stays alive, fouls it back. Our home plate umpire, Arthur Chapman, just asked the Swarthmore dugout for more baseballs because of all these foul balls hit out of play. 1-2. That ball is hit out towards left. Burgess going back, drifting back. It's over his head and over the wall. Another game-tying 2-run home run. Second straight inning that Montclair State has tied it up with a home run out to left field, and we are knotted at 7 apiece now in the 8th inning. This time it's Michael Murphy with the big blow. Murphy with his second home run of the season, and it's 7-7. All the home runs today out to left field as the wind is just carrying the ball in that direction slightly enough. And that'll bring up Andrew Holworther. So Montclair State continues to fight back deficit after deficit this afternoon. First pitch downstairs. Third home run of the day. 2 for Montclair State and 1 for Swarthmore. Pitch downstairs, 2-0. To Allworther. Is in for a strike. The 2-1. Just missed below the knees. Been a tight strike zone for Rimmerman here in the 8th. The 3-1. Ball 4. So Allworther walks, and now 3 of 4 have reached against Rimmerman. Edward Berry's 6 innings, 2-run performance, a distant memory at this point in a 7-7 game, as we're going to have a pinch runner for Montclair State. Joe Jasonda is coming in to pinch run here for Andrew Allworther. First pitch is fouled in and out of the glove of Olson. And this is Blaze Rannanen getting his second plate appearance. Struck out in the 7th. Here's the 0-1. Fastball just off the plate outside. And the pace is really slowed down here for Rimmerman here in the 8th. The 1-1. There goes the runner. Pitches outside, throw down to second base. And that one ends up being off the mark with the throw, gets away. Staying at second is Jasonda. Fortunately, Rothberg is okay, has lost his glove trying to make the catch and also evade the base runner. Jasonda picks up his second steal of the season. So now the go-ahead runner's out in scoring position for Montclair State. Rannanen takes ball 3. Three 3-1 coming from Rimmerman. Outside ball 4. Two on and 1 out. 2 runs already in for Montclair State. And Garino will bat. Two walks in the inning. And it looks like we're going to have a change here. Burgess in some discomfort. the left fielder. And we're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with more after this here on the Garnet Sports Network. Seven game here in the top of the eighth. And we're going to have a defensive substitution as Austin Burgess is going to come out, and Josh Bean is in the game and left. Bean, a 5'9", 185-pound junior from Del Mar, New York, comes on here to play left. 2 on and 1 out as Montclair State tied the game earlier here in the eighth on the Michael Murphy home run off of Alexander Rimmerman. Rimmerman then walked 2. And Anthony Garino, who hit the big home run in the 7th, gets another crack at it to potentially give Montclair State its first lead of the afternoon here in the top of the eighth. First pitch. Cut on a miss for strike 1. Pitch had a little movement on it, tailed towards the outside part of the plate. Rimmerman shakes off his catcher, Olson. Finally has what he likes. Here's the 0-1. Another slider in for a strike. He's had some trouble with command here in the eighth, but first 2 pitches look pretty good there to Garino. The 0-2. Just getting a piece of it was Garino, fouls it back to the screen. This game closing in on 3 hours. We had a pretty good pace going early, but it has tightened up here in the last couple frames. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Rimmerman's second strikeout. And that'll bring up Jason Moore. Moore has a hit today, also reached on a walk in the 6th inning. At second base, Jasonda, who came on as a pinch runner. At first is Blaze Rannanen. Pitch home. Down and away for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Called strike outside corner. Count a ball and a strike on Moore. Fastball in tight, 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Fouled back to the screen, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Rimmerman can see his way out of this. Keep the game tied and give his offense a chance in a tie game in the bottom of the 8th if he's able to get more right here. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. But Montclair State ties the game again here in the 8th. In the inning, they scored 2 runs. There were 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. 7-7 now as we go to the bottom of the 8th between Swarthmore and Montclair State on the Garnet Sports Network. Bottom of the 8th inning. Game tied 7-7. Justin Silva came on and allowed the go-ahead 2-run double at the time in the bottom of the 7th to Paul Cook before retiring 3 straight. It'll be 9-1-2 for Swarthmore in the 8th inning. Briggs pinch hit for Jacobson in the 6th, so this is going to be Olson's first plate appearance. Olson 3 for 5 on the year at the plate.
Now batting number 5, Andrew Olson.
Andrew Olworther is out of the game in left field for Montclair State. And it should be Jasonda in left. Here's a swing and a miss by Olson for strike 1. Swing and a miss. Olson a little bit late on that cut. Seven here in the bottom of the 8th. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches gets Olson. 3rd strikeout for Silva.
Now batting number 11, Kurt Terada-Herzer.
First pitch to Terada Herzer is in for a strike. It's his 5th plate appearance of the game. He's 1 for 4. Here's the 0-1. Called strike outside corner. So Silva is coming out throwing strikes here in the 8th. It's 5 straight strikes to start the inning. The 0-2. Just missed. A little bit outside. Fastball slider pitcher. The 1-2. That one is looped out towards the left side hole, and a nice catch by Moore. Looked like there was a chance that one might fall, but the shortstop's able to make the catch for out number 2. Luke Mutz. He's got 3 hits today. A couple runs scored. First pitch by Silva. Ball is fouled in and out of the glove of Garino. Montclair State has not led this game, but they've tied it twice. And that's how we sit here in the bottom of the 8th, 7-7. The 0-1 is off the plate outside. Swarthmore had a chance to score more than 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, but Silva was able to retire 3 straight with 2 runners in scoring position. 2-1 the count to Mutz. The 2-1 pitch. Down and in, ball 3. Swarthmore has not been retired in order in any innings so far here, so Mutz trying to reach to keep that streak alive. Here's the 3-1. Grounded on the right side. It's through. It's a base hit. It's the 4th hit of the afternoon for Mutz. And a 2-out base runner here in the bottom of the 8th inning for Austin. Or rather, Bean's going to get his first plate appearance as he came in for Burgess. Beans batting .217 on the year, 5 for 23 on the season. Throw to first, back safely is Mutz. Silva ready. Throw to first. Back safely is Mutz. There goes the runner, pitches up high, thrown on to second base. And safe at second is Mutz. If the throw would have been corralled cleanly by Feaster, probably out at second base would have Mutz been, but not able to make the catch, and now runner in scoring position.
Let's go, Josh. Let's go, 2-4.
Base hit here could help Swarthmore retake the lead. The 1-0. Up high, 2 balls and no strikes. Seven here in the bottom of the 8th. Swarthmore trying to take their second of the season over Montclair State. The 2-0. Outside ball 3. Matt Silvestri waits on deck if Bean can reach. Three O's called strike.
You got it, 2 foot.
Silva checks second. 3-1. Outside ball 4. So Bean is able to draw a walk. 2 on with 2 outs here at the bottom of the 8th.
23, Matt Silvestri.
And that'll bring up Silvestri. And a quick conversation on the mound will take place. Doesn't look like Silva's going to be lifted here, but Montclair State will get everybody on the same page defensively. Silvestri's 2 for 4, a couple of singles. First pitch to Silvestri's behind him. Goes all the way back to the screen. That'll allow both runners to advance. Mutz to third and a Bean to second, so you would be hard-pressed to believe that the discussion was to have a pitch like that take place after a meeting on the mound, but 2 runners now in scoring position. Count 1-0 to Silvestri. Now another pitch gets away. 90 feet away is Mutz from retaking the lead for the Garnet. There's a pitch fouled back behind home plate. Good pitch to hit there. Swarthmore was able to retake the lead in the 7th, trying to do the same here in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-1. Breaking ball. Looked pretty good from up here, but called a ball. Here's the 2-1. That one's up high. 3 balls and a strike. Waiting on deck is Paul Cook, who had the big hit last inning. Silva's command was really strong coming out of the gates here in the 8th inning, but he's in danger of walking a second straight. The 3-1. Slider called strike. Probably a good take there from Silvestri. Not much he could do with that pitch. And the count runs full 3-2. A lot of full counts this afternoon on both sides. Here's the 3-2. Just gets a piece of it, reaches out to stay alive. Mutt's at third. Bean is at second. 7-7 game here in the eighth. Silva's 3-2. Inside ball 4. Back-to-back walks has loaded the bases up for Cook, and that was the case in the 7th when he delivered a 2-run double to the right center field gap. 3 RBIs on the day for Cook, and Swarthmore looking for more from Cook to take the lead back one more time here in the 8th inning. Pitch home is outside for a ball. The 1-0. Ooh, swung at possibly ball 2 there, and the count evens up at 1-1. Silva got the first 2 hitters, but then Mutt singled to right. Bean and Silvestri walked. Couple extra moments here to give our home plate umpire, Arthur Chapman, a chance to get ready. One ball and 1 strike to Cook. Silva set. Here's the 1-1. It's bunt down the third base line. It's a good one. There's no play. How about that? A bunt single to retake the lead for Swarthmore here in the bottom of the 8th. Nobody was expecting that. Joe Norton, the third baseman, was playing back. It was a perfect bunt single, the 4th RBI for Paul Cook this afternoon, and Swarthmore takes an 8-7 lead. And that'll bring up Max Rothberg. 4 straight have reached here for Swarthmore in the 8th, and a bunt single retakes the lead here in the frame. First pitch to Rothberg is in for a strike. You don't expect a bunt with 2 outs and the bases loaded in a tie game. And it was executed perfectly by Cook. The 0-1. Rothberg tried to check on a pitch down and away, but went around. No balls and 2 strikes. Montclair State has Feaster, the 9-hole hitter, and then 1-2 in the top of the order coming up in the top of the 9th inning. The 0-2. Downstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Sent foul down the first base line.
You got it, 1-8. Let's go, 1-8. You got it, kid.
8-7 Swarthmore. Here in the bottom of the 8th. And Silva trying to keep it at a 1-run game and let his offense go to work in the 9th. Here's the 1-2. That's looped down into right field, but that's going to hang up there for Rennan to make the play. And that'll do it for the Garnet here in the 8th inning, but they do retake the lead again. In the frame, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and they leave them loaded. Swarthmore look to protect an 8-7 lead as we go to the top of the 9th inning on the Garnet Sports Network. Eight 8-7 Swarthmore as we go to the top of the 9th inning. And Swarthmore will bring on their 5th pitcher of the afternoon as right-hander Rohan Cherikuri, 6'4", 195-pounder from Sterling, Virginia, will come on. Cherikuri 0-1, 4th appearance. He's given up 8 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings, 3 strikeouts and 3 walks on the year. And he comes on for Alex Rimmerman, who gave up the tying 2 runs in the top of the 8th inning. Did strike out the side. 2 runs, 2 hits in an inning of work for Rimmerman. Also had a walk in there. Paul Cook, the big day, especially the last 2 innings for Swarthmore offensively, with the 2-run double to give them the lead in the 7th, and then the bunt single base hit to give them the lead again in the 8th. Feaster, Norden, and Cosentino, the scheduled hitters for Montclair State here in the top of the 9th inning. And this is a real test for Swarthmore as their pitching in the middle innings and the latter half of this game is unfortunately squandered what at one point was both a 4-0 and 5-1 lead. Feaster, 2 for 4, an RBI double in the 6th, and an infield hit in the 7th. So here we go, top of the 9th. 8-7 Garnet on top of the Red Hawks in a back-and-forth affair here from Clothier Field in Swarthmore. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. I'm Steve Rudenstein. Cherokee, the big 6'4" right-hander against the diminutive Feaster. First pitch, called strike, outside corner. Here's the 0-1. Hit sharply, but playable for the shortstop, Rothberg, and he's up with it and throws across for out number 1. Now bring up Joe Norden. Montclair State has left 13 on base today. So despite scoring 7, they had some opportunities early too, and if they converted, they probably would have put up double-digit runs. Norden, 1 for 4 with a walk today. Cherikuri's first pitch, just outside for a ball. Rothberg again plays in that left side hole. He was fortunate that that ground ball by Feaster wasn't hit too hard, gave him time to move laterally to come up with the play. Here's the 1-0. That one is punched out into shallow center field, and coming on and making the catch is Tarada Herzer. Hangs up for him. 2 quick outs for Cherikuri. And Montclair State's last hope is up to Peter Cosentino. Swarthmore has not retired Montclair State in orders since the 3rd inning. Pitch by Cherry. Popped up, and that'll come back behind home plate and out of play. Cherry trying to retire the side 1-2-3 and pick up the save here in the 9th. As a team, Swarthmore only with 1 save on the year, and here's a breaking ball that plunks Costantino. Not what Cherry wanted to do there, is put the tying run on base and the go-ahead run now at the plate. Yurkiewicz now bats here with a runner at first. Outfielders very deep. They don't want to give up an extra base hit. Want to keep the ball in front of them. First pitch to Yurkiewicz is dribbled up to third base line, played by Mutz, throws across in time, and that'll do it. As Swarthmore picks up the victory 8-7, as Cherry earns the save with a scoreless 9th inning. Final totals in this one. For Montclair State, 7 runs, 10 hits, and an error. For Swarthmore, 8 runs, 14 hits, and 3 errors. The winning pitcher for Swarthmore is Alex Rimmerman as he improves to 1-2. Justin Silva takes the loss. He drops to 0-1 for the Red Hawks. Swarthmore improves to 6-10 on the year. Montclair State with the defeat. They drop to 11-5. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon on the Garnet Sports Network. I'm Steve Rudenstein. Again, our final score 8-7. Swarthmore wins. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.